I'm just curious, what do you guys think is the reason for that?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason?
What's up, idols? It's CC Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be different. Honestly, I wasn't sure if I should put this on my main channel or the backup channel that I'm still trying to get together, forgive me. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about like triggering social dilemmas and social questions. So these are questions I've always been curious about and wonder what's right or wrong. How do the majority of people feel about these topics and questions? So these are going to be 20 questions that will trigger you. Warning. Before we jump in, I just wanted to ask you guys to please, like, YouTube is technically my job right now, which I've said this before, it still feels weird to say out loud. So if you guys could leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, just engage with the video because that is the absolute best way to support me and keep me going. Plus the feedback in the comments, especially with a video like this, is literally the point of the video. I want to talk to you guys and I want to hear your opinions on these questions. And if you haven't already, please go back and watch a story time I just uploaded a few days ago. It was actually a lot of fun to edit. It was a story I was kind of scared to tell because I was like, technically what I participated in wasn't legal, so y'all might be mad. So I haven't told the story in like 2 years, but I finally did it. You guys seem to like it. It was really fun and I put a lot of effort into it with the new audio, the mic, the edits and stuff. So please watch it, rewatch it, share it, like it, comment again. 감사합니다. So first one, I'm gonna start off a little light, and I asked this before in a few videos ago. Is it rude, like, to tell someone that they smell? It's more than just the breath, because based on your response to that video, it is easy to kind of just give somebody a mint or some gum or something. But what if somebody has bad BO? Is it better to just breathe through your mouth and get through the encounter, ignore it? Or should you tell them like, yo, my man, you need a shower? Like, how do you do that respectfully? Because I've never told someone they stink, even when they do. I just hold my breath until it passes. These are probably gonna get progressively more problematic and more triggering, so be aware of that. The next question I wanted to ask, is it better to take a shower at night or in the morning? For me personally, I don't need a shower in the morning because when I was in high school, when I would wake up, I would spend too much time in the shower and I'd be late, miss the bus because it's cold out and the shower's hot, so it's too tempting. So I shower before I go to bed. And I can't be out in the day on the bus in public settings and then go to bed. I can't. So I'm curious how you guys feel about that. Another light one. Trust me, they're gonna get worse. And the next question, do you think it is okay to have a preference when it comes to dating? And we've talked about this before on my channel a bit, but I feel like when I look back in the comments, it seems like it's kind of a 50-50 split. Some people say, look, you don't gotta like me. I don't gotta be your type. It's fine. Other people consider it like being prejudiced if you have a preference. So I'm really curious how you guys feel about that. So for a little light one, do you guys pronounce it GIF or GIF? Because I say GIF. I'm sorry, I'm a GIFer. Some people say, I think most people actually do say GIF because I get a lot of crap for it. They're like, wait, what did you just say? And I'm like, it's a funny GIF. They're like, oh, it's not GIF. I said you should know better. So I'm curious, do y'all say GIF or GIF? Let me know. So the next question is for the ladies out there, the Yojas. Do you expect a man to pay for you when you guys go out to eat? When you go on a date, what is it like you expect them to pay on the first date type of thing? Do you expect it to be 50-50? Do you expect them to do it some of the times, most of the times? I'm really curious because I've always been in a mindset where, especially when I'm just getting to know someone, I don't go out unless I have my own money to pay for me. Especially, you know, I don't want to be looking at the menu like, oh, I don't want to get something too pricey, or like, I don't know what his pockets are like. So if I know what I can afford, I know what I can eat. So that's another reason why I pay for myself. But as I get to know them more and like them more, I am more touched when they're like, oh, it's on me, I got it. I'm like, oh, thank you, that's so sweet. Or is it 2023 and girls should pay for themselves? Let me know. This is more so for my own personal interest because this is what I find as a red flag, and I'm just curious if I'm just being paranoid or not. So, do you think it is a red flag when men call women females? I don't know why that bothers me so much. Because girls, you know, we call guys men, boys, assholes. But we never just, these males out here, we're like, these men ain't shit. Whenever guys call women females, it seems so impersonal. And it's never usually in a positive light. You know, they're like, these females out here be trying it. So yeah, I'm curious, is that also a red flag for you, or I'm tripping, right? This is another question I've been very curious about. Do you think that cancel culture is a form of cyberbullying? Because when you think about it, cancel culture does like bully a person off of their platform, out of their job, some sort of backlash, and a lot of the times these people end up doxxed. Do you ever think it's okay to dox someone? Like if they're a scumbag, do you feel like, oh, dox them, let everybody know where they at? Because that happens all the time. When people be like, oh my god, we need to find this girl who said the N-word, and then they dox you, you find out where she lived, you find out where she worked, you find her Facebook, and everybody knows it. So do you think doxing is ever okay as well? Dang, these getting kind of hot. Next question. Do you think it is bad to be selfish? Or do you think it is very important for people to put themselves first and take care of their own needs first and prioritize themselves first? Or is that bad and wrong and everyone should prioritize the needs of others and those around them? I feel like that could go either way. It depends on the person, right? But let me know what y'all think in the comments. For this next one, I think this is another one that's been quite relevant on my channel through the years. Do you think it is okay for people to show interest in cultures that are not their own? Or is no matter what you do, if you're not a part of that, is it just appropriation, flat, like simple? Or is it okay sometimes to be someone foreign interested in something that's not their own and to adopt certain aspects and to appreciate, admire, copy certain aspects? Is that always cultural appropriation, or sometimes it's just appreciation? What do you guys think? This is another question that's always been for me personally, because it's just my own confusion because I'm stupid sometimes. Do you think that everyone, regardless of their sexual orientation, should provide their pronouns? Because I have always thought that you only do that if you're in the LGBTQ plus community. Like for me, I've always been not fearful, but like I don't want to be like, oh well, mine or she and her. It's like,
Isis, you're a straight girl, no one asked you.
Or are we all supposed to include our pronouns? Like I honestly genuinely have never known, because it seems like these days it's everywhere, like on Instagram, dating profiles, websites, anything that you can present yourself and your personal information, they have the pronoun section. And I've always been an ally. I have always been so annoyed and easily triggered when politicians constantly feel the need to tell someone, oh, you can't be with that person because I don't like it, I disagree, my religion says it. Do not get me started. That has always pissed me off. So I've always been love who you love, be who you want to be, live your true self. But I've always wondered, like, is it normal for everyone to show their pronoun? Because people have asked me like why I don't put mine, and I was like, oh well, I'm straight, am I supposed to? I genuinely don't know. This is a question that me and now this one I have to be very careful with how I word it, because it's something that's always been burning in the back of my mind, and I'm so curious where people's heads are on this. And me and Bree used to argue about this all the time, going back and forth with our little debates and shit. So I've always been very curious, how black can someone be for it to be okay for them to say the N-word, for example? I know there's some people out there who say nobody should say it ever, but you also have a lot of black people who are like, look, it's ours, we're owning it, we're taking it back. And then you have those people who are like an eighth black saying it, like, oh, it's okay, my great-grandfather is black. Or you have people who are like biracial, half black, half white, saying it. And people who like Cardi B, for example, who her roots, her distant roots, you know, may come from that, but she is Dominican, right? Or she like half Dominican, half black, and she says it and people seem to be fine with it. So I've always been curious, how much is enough, like how, this is so hard to word. How black can you be for it to be okay for you to say it? I've seen girls who visibly look white and then they got like a black parent and people are like, you can't say that, that's racist. Is it like determined on where they grew up, their background, the people that were surrounding them in their lives? Is it ethnically, like is it actually like, okay, as long as you're at least half, it's okay? Like I don't know, I've always been curious, because there's some people who say it regularly in music and people are fine, and then some people are like, what, you ain't supposed to say that, even when they're not black. So all right, I did my best. Let me know what y'all think. I've always been curious, do you guys think that social media does more good or more bad? Because I've been seeing, you know, a lot of interviews of people talking about what would happen if Twitter did fall. And you do have people who have access to Twitter and Wi-Fi and internet, but live in a country where they don't have necessarily like free speech and free press, and they can't openly criticize and talk about what's going on to them, but they can share it on Twitter. So that there's a lot of good that comes from it, but there's also a lot of cancel culture and toxicity, and people, their insecurities bred, and they spread hate, and there's so much good and bad. And I'm just curious, do you think there's more good or more bad on social media? Here's another question I've had, since, you know, there's been a lot of news about billionaires and stuff lately. Do you think it is better to have no money and no debt, or money and debt? Like, would you rather be broke and not owe nobody, or would you have money even though you owe some people? I think I worded that right. This video is harder than I thought. So one of the positives I think I've seen on social media is a lot of like body positivity and owning how you look and not conforming to beauty standards that you see in the magazines and on TV. So that's where this question comes in. What do you think is the difference between confidence and self-absorption? Like, where's the line drawn where you can feel good about yourself and you want to show yourself and be proud of who you are and how you look and all that stuff? Where's the line drawn before it becomes obnoxious and undesired behavior where you're just like, oh God, this girl again. We get it, you're hot, or we get it, you love yourself, you know? I'm really curious. Like sometimes, you know, people post everything and then people are like, yo, we don't need to see all of that. And sometimes people are like, yes, girl, live your truth, own it, post, you know, do what you want, own how you look, own how you feel, own this confidence. But at what point does it become self-absorption? I think one of the reasons I want to ask this too is because I've always had a problem like receiving compliments. I don't know what that is because, you know, I've always considered myself like a humble person. I'm like, oh, stop it. You flatter me. If someone calls you cute, you can say, yeah, I know. Or thanks, I know. But then some people are like, okay, that's arrogant. So like, yeah, what's the difference here? Like, help me out, guys, please. We're getting closer to this number one question that I really, this question, the number one question is the reason I wanted to make this whole video. But I was like, I can't just do this video with just one question. So let me think of some other questions I have that the public, that you guys, my viewers, can help me out with. This is one that's a little bit more like, I've always wanted to know this. Why do you think people go on like dating apps and stuff and they will match you but never talk to you? I don't understand, especially if you're on something like Hinge where your likes are limited. You can't just like whoever you want. You have to actually get a few a day unless you pay like money to have unlimited. But like, what is the point of going on there if you're not, sorry, I gotta keep checking to make sure the audio's going. But like, what is the point of matching if you're never gonna talk to them? I usually get to, I mean, these days I've actually been kind of lucky. I've been talking with a lot of people and interesting guys and cute guys and stuff. And I've actually got a date on Saturday, but that's neither here nor there. Say I'll get like, I don't know, 15 matches or something. Maybe one or two will actually respond. And almost all these guys never actually message me first. I'm usually the one that's like, hey, how are you? Hey, what's up? Or I'll say something funny about their profile. And then the rest I'll just delete after like a week of nothing. Like, what is the point? It's like they're just collecting them. I'm just curious, what do you guys think is the reason for that?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
So without this video getting too long and too rambly, I've lost track of how many questions I've asked. I don't think I made it to 20, so I'm sorry. The reason I thought about this was because a few months ago, what's his name? James Franco was casted as Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro is Cuban. James Franco is mostly white, but I think with the last name like Franco, there's some Spanish somewhere in his family. Some people, that actor John Leguizamo, he was like, oh, shouldn't a Hispanic person get this role? You're whitewashing Hollywood more, etc. But then some people called him out because he is a Latino man and he's played many other races. He did Asian, he did Italian, he did white, like he's done other roles too. So this is actually the question that made me want to talk to you guys about this. Do you think it's okay for people of color to play white characters when a white character plays a person of color is not okay? And I get it, like I get the history, you know, we've seen like Cleopatra casted as Elizabeth Taylor, like we've seen that. And for so long, Hollywood has been not diverse at all. Roles have been going to white people in makeup. I get that, I fully understand that. But it also kind of just, it's like a slippery slope because at what point are you not allowed to be an actor anymore? You know, you have to be exactly like the role you're playing, then it's not acted anymore. So for example, could a straight guy play a gay guy? Could a gay guy play a straight character? Things like that, you know? Or I remember, I didn't see it, but I get the backlash. Sia had a movie and the way they portrayed autism, people didn't like. And I don't think the actor was actually autistic. I can't remember. I didn't see it. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I do feel like the way Hollywood is going, it's like you're not really an actor anymore. You're just being hired to be who you are already. You have to be like a similar background to the role you're playing. I just want to know why you think that is and if you agree or disagree. Like I remember, I think Zoe Saldana was supposed to play Nina Simone. And Zoe Saldana, you know, she can pass for a black woman. She's played black a lot, but she's actually Dominican and she's mixed or something. I don't know. But people were really upset that she played Nina Simone and it didn't go to like an actually ethnically black woman. And for me, the way I've always seen it is as long as everyone has the opportunity to get the job, the role should still go to the best person that the directors and producers feel fitted, and not like, oh, we need to make sure people aren't gonna cancel us or be pissed, so we should get a black person to play this black girl, we should get a Cuban to play this Cuban, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think there was any backlash. For example, that beautiful woman from Knives Out, Ana de Armas, she played Marilyn Monroe, and she's nominated for an Oscar. People weren't really mad at a person of color playing a white woman, but when it's the other way around, people get upset. So I just wanted to know, like, can we talk about this? I fully understand, like, Hollywood needs to be diverse. People need to all have the inclusivity and the opportunity to get the jobs. But I don't think you should be given the role to quell potential backlash. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Okay, at this point, I've been filming for like 30 minutes, so I'm gonna cut it here. Thanks for watching if you did. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!